Also this afternoon, St. Louis City and St. Louis County, as you know, are not reopening just yet. So right now, we want to get your questions answered from the head of the St. Louis Metropolitan Pandemic Task Force. Dr. Alex Garza is also Chief Medical Officer for SSM Health, joins us live this afternoon. Dr. Garza, thank you for your time.
Sure, anytime.
Well, today the mayor of St. Louis said they are continuing to see community spread cases of COVID-19. Give us an idea, has that slowed down in our area at all?
Yeah, the number of hospitalizations has really plateaued, and that's really what we were expecting, sort of this steep increase, a plateau, and then a gradual decline. But the other number that we're looking at is our incidence of admission, and so that's how many people get admitted to the hospital every day with COVID, and we've seen that number coming down over time. So that number is really promising. You have to remember the hospitalization number is dependent upon like how long do the patients stay in the hospital, things like that. And so those two numbers though are really encouraging.
Yeah, the new hospital admissions as you talked about really in just last half hour, you mentioned in the last day that was about 30 in the past 24 hours of individuals being admitted to the hospital. So put that number in perspective for us that we have seen throughout this pandemic.
Yeah, so that number has come down quite a bit over, I would say the past 2 to 3 weeks from when we were really at that sort of top end of the number of cases that we've seen. And so, as I've talked about with our modeling numbers, we really did expect sort of that crest to happen with the number of cases about a week and a half ago, and those numbers start coming down. And so I think that's really what we're beginning to see now is those index cases or those new admissions are really start coming down.
And we will take any encouraging news any day that we should get it. Should we also be taking a cue from you and your schedule? We understand you've been bringing us live updates every day during the work week, but moving forward, you'll have those live updates just on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Yeah. So taking a step back, going to just do those briefings 3 days a week and send out some press releases on the other days. And so, it's a welcome relief, but we're still staying on top of all the numbers and everything. And if they start changing, then we may change our routine. But right now, it just seemed appropriate to take a step back.
All right, well, let's talk about elective surgeries. SSM Health later this week will start performing some elective surgeries. What surgeries will be given priority, and are all hospitals in the area getting back to elective surgeries in the near future?
Yeah, so I think it's important for us to understand that these aren't the purely elective surgeries, so things like plastic surgery or knee replacements, things like this. These are really surgeries that we've been putting off for an amount of time that really are becoming more and more urgent as time goes along. And so think of those things like, cancer surgeries that we needed to get done. They weren't life-threatening. We felt like we could delay them for a little bit longer. So really those are the surgeries that we're starting to take back to the operating room now. And then it'll sequentially get larger and larger as long as we don't see a rebound in cases and everything else works out okay to get back up to full speed.
Let's also talk about contact tracing this afternoon. As we do begin to get out of our homes more as stay-at-home orders are lifted, would you suggest that individuals and families keep some sort of log of where they went each day, who they came into contact with? Obviously, that's going to be a lot of work, but in your opinion, is that important to do?
Well, it's sort of plus minus. So, it's important to understand, if you do come in contact with somebody that is COVID positive, or if you do become ill yourself, that you are able to then help out those contact tracers with telling people where you've been, who you've been interacting with. There's some technology out there as well, using cell phone data, stuff like that can track your movements. And so, whatever is most convenient for you. But just making sure that you're able to help out those tracers is really important.
Okay, and real quick before we let you go this afternoon, no secret, Dr. Garza, people really losing their patience. The state of Missouri reopened today, but here in St. Louis City and St. Louis County, we're still under stay-at-home orders. Give us your best guess right now when you think here in our area. We're looking for a day here. We're looking for a couple of weeks. What information can you give us when we'll be able to lift those orders?
Sure. So let me put it to you this way. So if the models hold true, and we've been pretty close to what our models have been showing us, And what you want to see is a downward trajectory over a period of time. Most people say around 14 days because that's 2 viral replication cycles. And so if that holds true, that puts us around mid-May for that timeline. But you also want to have those other things like testing, contact tracing, all of those other things in place that I know everybody's working really hard to get up and running. And so I think, as the mayor said, as the county executive said, we're really looking at that mid-May mark as a potential reopening.
Okay, we surely appreciate your time as always, Dr. Garza. Thank
Sure.
you so much.